So here's the materials I used in this project. That's Gold Leaf from, I believe, Be Resin, maybe Amazon. And those are real flower petals just from the local grocery store that's been dried out. And then the white pigment, the white pearl, and just regular white alcohol ink. I kind of just mix clear resin with some cut up pieces of the roses and gold leaf in a bunch of little cups so that it will be easier for me to pour it. And I am just placing it exactly where I want it to be. It is a little, like, some of my little cups are a little chunkier than others, but throughout the project I will just make sure that it has, like, each little coaster or tray has a good amount of like roses and gold leaf. I will say this project was relatively easy. I usually do all of my mixing before I start recording, but this was pretty much all I did for this project. After I laid this down, I kind of just made sure that everything was all even, and I also decided that I wanted to have, like, the edges be frosty white. And so you'll see that I am just going to adjust the resin a little bit so that I can achieve the look that I was going for. I like it for, like, the bigger trays. I like for it all to look like one. Like, I like when it's put together, it just looks like one piece instead of just like 7 different pieces that match. And so I realized here that I had already used the like rose petal gold leaf clear resin. I had already used it all the way in the middle because I wasn't gonna put any white in the middle. So now I'm just going to fix that. Again, popsicle sticks are my go-to for fixing anything. For me personally, they don't scrape the molds. I'm never really, like, scraping it too hard anyway, so they don't scrape the molds, and you're able to, like, push the resin like I'm doing here, just so that I can get everything out of that space to make way for the white pearl color that I wanted to go for. I did want this white color to be a little bit more not as transparent, but it came out just fine. The only part of this piece that I didn't record, I did do 2 layers. Like, I did do a top coat, and so the most of the rest of this video will just be me filling out the molds. I let the mold sit for maybe, I don't know, maybe like 4 hours, and when it was still tacky, I dropped some glass pieces from Michael's, and I'll drop that in the description box below. But I put some glass pieces in just the tray part. I didn't put it in the coaster part, but I just felt like the tray part needed a little bit more bling, so I did put some glass pieces in the tray. And after I put that in there, I used a toothpick, or the bottom of the toothpick, to push down all the little pieces so they weren't sticking up. I did do a top coat on all of the entire tray after the fact. I put when I put the glass pieces in, I also put in the handles at that time. Then I probably let that sit for maybe like 12 hours or so. Then I went back and I put a top coat over everything. I wanted to make sure that, like, all the rose petals pieces and the glass pieces and gold leaf, everything would be covered up by resin. And so I was pretty happy with how it originally turned out. So then I just put 1 flood coat on top of the entire thing to not only cover up anything that was sticking up out of the resin, but also to fill out all of my molds. And so that's one tip I would give you guys. Don't feel like you have to fill the molds out when you're doing your initial project, because, like, sometimes what you pour is absolutely beautiful and you don't want to add anything else to it because it can, like, ruin what you've done already. And so if you still want to fill the molds out, feel free to do a top coat. Most of my top coats are typically gonna be clear, but I mean, I've seen other people do just like a transparent color of whatever piece that they're doing. Like, I could have did like a really light pink. That didn't think that would have been really pretty on this, but nonetheless, that's pretty much all I did. And now I'm just trying to fill out the molds with the clear, and also um, just move around some of the rose petals to kind of make it more even and make it all look one and not as scarce in different places. But that is about all, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. If I will put my plug-in for the resin that I use, it's going to be Be Resin. I just think it's absolutely amazing. Like, I use it for almost every project I've ever had. I have tried a couple other resins, just like for backups, just in case I ever in life run out of resin for some odd reason. But I've tried a couple other resin, wasn't really happy with it. I'm like pretty spoiled with this piece of resin. It is so clear, and you'll see that in the final project as well. It's just like phenomenal. Anyways, I will leave everything that I use. I'll leave that in the description box below. I'll also leave a link for Be Resin and a discount code for you guys as well.